Okay, so this is gonna be in really shit quality because I'm recording in a semi-dark room on my laptop, instead of in a bright room on my phone, because even if I had the lighting on in this room, it would still be awful. I'm also pretty caffeinated, so I'm gonna be a little jittery, but I'm going to try to cram check-ins 1, 2, and 3 into this video, so it's gonna be a little longer than normal, just because I am behind, and uploading 3 separate videos all in the same day would be a little hectic, especially for the grading instructor, you, to watch. But yeah, so I'm gonna look at notes on my phone, which is why I'm recording on my laptop, so that I don't like reach over my phone and go on my laptop. But here's what it is. I'm continuing with What's Up with Crime for the second trimester's Genius Hour. And whereas last trimester I did crime scene investigation, this trimester I'm going to try to do what it would be like to be a medical examiner for the crime. Obviously, it's going to be very different currently than it was in the 30s, but the interesting thing about forensic pathology is it has been around for a very long time. That's what being a medical examiner is. It's being a forensic pathologist. That's the study of the body. It's just really interesting as a subject because it has been around for such a long time as people started to figure out how the body worked. So the word autopsy isn't actually the correct word for what it is. The correct word is necropsy, which is the study of a dead body, of a corpse. The autopsy is the study of an alive one, which is really, really interesting because an autopsy would, if we were using the actual words by their proper definitions, would be a vivisection, where a necropsy is a dissection, and it's the same difference. One is alive and one is dead. But somewhere along the way, the meaning of the word changed, for some reason. I don't understand why. Maybe I can look into the history on that a bit more. It's not very important. But medical examiners go back a long while, which is mostly just because the study of how the human body works originated with the study of corpses instead of with the study of live people, because back in the day surgeries didn't have a very high success rate because of lack of hygiene and lack of proper knowledge. So what would happen in, let's say we're in England, because this was very prominent in England especially. Say we're in the 1800s. Doctors would pay people to bring them bodies, so that they could study them in front of a live studio audience. Not kidding. People would pay to go see doctors, or just regular people. The term doctors was kind of loosely used back then. You didn't really need a set kind of curriculum of knowledge to be a doctor. But people would pay to go into big buildings and watch people just cut up dead bodies, see what they could find and discover what was new and stuff. And this led to some problems because people would start to kill people and then sell the bodies, or grave rob and then sell the bodies. So obviously this was not a good thing. That's the start of necropsy. I'll just call it an autopsy for the rest of the video. That's the start of autopsy. Even though it's not exactly on purpose, because, you know, the doctors weren't asking people to kill people to get bodies, but that's what ended up happening. And then they saw how stab wounds and gunshots affected the body, and now that's a thing. That's forensic pathology. So why forensic pathology? Why did I choose medical examination? Because that's a very, very important part of crimes. You can find out so much from an autopsy. Most things about, let's just say murder, we're gonna refer to every crime as murder from now on, because my crime currently that I am studying is a murder. Everything about... Not everything. Let me backtrack. You can find out a lot from an autopsy. You can find out how long ago the person died. You can find out what exactly caused the person to die. There are a few different things that go into how a person dies, and I'll get into that a little later. You can find out what happened pre-death, like rigor mortis stuff. Forensic pathologists look at that. There's a few different stages of rigor mortis, which I'm sure I'll get into in another video, if not this video, because this one's getting a little long. And you can just find out, like, you know, if you look at the angle at which a knife went through, you can find out where the person was standing, and how the knife went in. The way that, the force at which a bullet goes through, which, of course, I'm studying because my man, Joseph Masseria, was shot, can show you exactly how close, not exactly, an approximation how close the murderer was standing. And I've actually been looking at a lot of different photos for this project, which isn't always fun. Sorry, someone just got into their car in the alley and that really distracted me. But you can just see so many things with a medical examiner. As a medical examiner, medical examiners are the people that determine if a person is dead or not. Medical examiners are typically like the second person on the scene. Because if they don't give the okay, then the body can't go to the morgue. So they got to be there like immediately. If someone says, hey, someone's been stabbed, the medical examiner needs to get there immediately to determine if they are still savable or if they have to go to the morgue. Because when you find a body, you want it to investigate it as fast as possible. To process it for evidence and stuff, and etc., etc. But I have been using, you can see how it progressively gets darker. I've been using this textbook. I got it for free because when you're a student, you find PDF files of stuff. It's Knight's textbook of forensic pathology. It is amazing. It has like real pictures of stuff, which might throw off some people, but hey, this field is what I want to go into work. But this is the field I want to go work in, so it doesn't really throw me off that much. But for my crime, I don't really have access to the autopsy report of it, so I'm kind of having to get rough approximations of where the bullets entered the body, which is a little difficult because there's conflicting reports and not a lot of records because it wasn't that big of a crime. But so far what I've gotten is that there was at least, okay, every single source that I found tells me that there was a bullet here. The conflict is if it went in here or if it came out here. A newspaper that I found said that police assumed, this is from like the day after the murder, that Joseph had turned around to like look at the dudes who were shooting him, and that's how it went in, and it went out the back. Another source said that he was still turned around and it went in the back and came out the front. Both sources agreed that is what killed him because it went through his brain. There might have been one in his neck. There may have just been 4 in his back. Either way, there were 5 killing shots. It's just really hard to figure out what happened. And again, this video is getting long, but it's hopefully going to count for 3 check-ins. I contacted an expert. I BCC'd the email to you. They have not gotten back to me yet, but it was the Burlington County Medical Examiner's Office, which is based in Westhampton, because apparently everything is for Burlington County is based in Westhampton or Mount Holly. I was going to use my same experts. Well, no, I wasn't. Going to use my same experts as last time because they're Neither of them have medical expertise. They both went to college for criminal justice and one of them for psychology as well. So they don't really know what's on the up and up, and I'm hoping that the medical examiner's office will let me know what's on the up and up. They seem cool enough, but I did it on Friday, and it's a holiday weekend because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so I'm hoping that they'll get back to me on that soon. But yeah, this is What's Up with Crime, the sequel. Excuse me, sorry. Check-ins 1, 2, and 3. If I need to do more for this to count as 3 check-ins, please just let me know. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.